Dr. 9 TV.
Okey, teruskan menyokong Dr. 9 TV.
Assalamualaikum and hi, welcome to Researcher Talk at Dr. 9 TV. So we discussed about some tips for postgraduate and novice researcher to help them to write in their thesis and help them to do the research, especially for their master and PhD research. And today I'm going to discuss about how to write a research question. Okay, so what is a research question? So a research question is a question around which you center your research. It should be clear, focused, concise, complex, and arguable. Okay, what it means about the clear? Okay, clear is to provide enough specific that one audience can easily understand its purpose without needing additional explanation. So must be clear what you are trying to say. Okay, because it's very important so that your research question will be more clear. And your research question also must be very focused. Okay, focus. Okay, focus, it means that it is narrow enough that it can be answered thoroughly in the space of the writing task log. So it shows that your research question must be very focused. Okay, and your research question also must be concise. Okay, it is expressed in the fewest possible word. It means concise and meaningful. Okay, and if you are trying to solve some complex research, so your research question must be complex enough. It is not answerable with a simple yes or no, but rather required synthesis and analysis of ideas and source prior to the composition of an answer. So it shows that your research question must be very critical or very complex. I mean, the complex in terms of the deepness of your study. And the last one, okay, your research question must be have the potential answer that are open for debate rather than accepted facts. That's mean when you design or develop your research question, it must be open for any discussion or debate, so that they can have a few possible answers, so that it's not like highlighting or oppose an idea to be accepted. So it must be, the question must be able to be debate on further discussion. Okay, so you have to remember that. And if you ask a question about the issues that you are genuinely curious and passionate about it, so you have to think, okay, what type of question that related for your research. Okay, and why is the research question essential to the research process? Why? You should ask this. You should answer this question, and you have to think why is the research question essential to the research process. Because research question help you to focus in your research by providing the path through the research and writing process. And the specifically of the well-developed research question help you to avoid, okay, to avoid something unfocused activity to your research. And it must be supporting the specific argument of the thesis. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to share some step that maybe can help you in developing your research question. Okay. The first one. Okay. The first one, choosing an interesting general topic. Okay, most of the professional researcher focus on the topic interested in the study. Okay, so you must find those topic that you are really interested. Okay, and the second one, okay, do some preliminary research on your general topic. Okay, maybe you can do a few research or searching on the internet the current topics in the journal. Okay, and you see what have been done and what are the research that still have a gap when you do some research, and maybe some of the issues are being discussed from researcher. You can pick up these topics so that you can find some of the topic that not discussed in deep discussion. So then you start investigate. Okay, what are the topic that will be worth it to do for your research. And the third one, you must consider your audience. Audience mean what? Who are your audience you are targeting when you write this research. Okay, it much more depends on your area of research field, and maybe some research group in that particular area. And please bear in mind then you have to narrow down your topic and developing your question. Okay, then maybe you would like to have a particular audience to be interested in the question you are developing, because you are going to target to those audience to give answer from your research. That's why you need to develop the suitable research question, so that this might be the audience can understand, okay, what type of the question for your research, and they will help you to answer all those research questions. So that from that you do some analysis, then you can come across with a conclusion, then you can summarize what is your finding later on. Okay, number 4, you need to start asking question. When you start asking a question, please taking into consideration to all those steps in the previous step. Then you start talking to yourself on open-ended how and why question about your general topic. Okay, for example, maybe you can start with something a very simple question, and start with what, who, how, and why. So this is a very simple asking about the question about your research topic. And number 5, okay, you need to evaluate your question. When you have a series of numbers of questions for your research question, you must evaluate, okay, your question. Okay, because some of the question might be not relevant and maybe not important, and you have to prioritize your research question, so that try to find something the most suitable research question for your research topic. Okay, and then for example, you need to ask yourself again, is your research question clear? When you write your research question, must be very clear and very specific, so that it's cover every aspect of your research question. Okay, every aspect of your research work. And you need to ask yourself also, is your research question is focused? Is it focused on? And you have to ask yourself also about, is your research question are complex? So it will be help you to design your research question more effective, so that will be help you in doing your research later on. And after you do all these 5 steps, then you can start doing your research. Okay, after you come up with all these questions, you think about possible direction. Okay, what to take place and what are the direction that you want to bring your research. And please identify those sources that required for you to improvise more on your research question. And the good research question must be have a very clear question. Okay, the question must be very focused, and there's some degrees of complexity, so that it shows that your research will have a highly potential research, and it help you in doing your research, maybe to focus on the research will be more clear, and it help you to understand more about what research that you want to do, and that is some of the tip that I can share with you today to how to write your research question. So I think that's for now. So thank you very much, and good luck and all the best.
Dr. 9 TV.
Okey, teruskan menyokong Dr. 9 TV.